Why, hello, everyone. We are back with more Age of Dicing with Death.
One of those shows.
Yes. Age of Death Clicks. Solemn.
And we are rolling initiative as I just opened the front door to Newt's Tower and stumbled into some bandits who are probably here to rob me because I've been throwing coin around town like it's nothing.
Yup. Give me your initiative roll, sir.
Oops, not a d20, a d10.
Yeah, give me a 10.
I need to roll well. Eesh, 10.
Okay.
I am casting a spell and trying to get it off and step back into the tower, shutting the door.
Well, you do go first with that 10.
Okay, so I'm casting a Nahal's Reckless Dwemer.
God, what spell are you trying to create?
As a grease spell onto actually how about as a sleep? No. I'm trying to think what will be most useful.
Pick!
As a grease spell onto the peep. So do I roll the d20 for level or do I just roll a straight?
Oh, no, it's just a Yeah, I guess you do roll a d20 for level.
Really? For a wild surge? Oh yeah, you can double wild surge and stuff, right?
I don't know.
Not much. So D100 plus 1 for a 3, which is could be scary. Could die at any moment.
3. And you rolled okay, yeah. So it doesn't double wild surge.
Caster shoots forth 8 non-poisonous snakes from fingertips. Snakes do not attack. So I shoot.
You're like, and these snakes fly out of your fingers.
Begone, brigands! And I shut the door behind me as I step back into the tower.
Okay.
Silva! Silva!
You look up and you see the door to Newt's room is shut.
Yeah, I'm shouting as I'm actually trying to lock. Does the door lock?
It does have a lock. It's
So I lock it.
I mean, the lock is a big beam that gets placed across it. It's a big bar. But you know, you've got a minute to do all this shit, basically. So you
so I cast
snakes, my fingertips. Grab the bar, throw it in place.
Yeah.
Give me a perception check.
D20 plus 12 is a 23.
You hear screams and cries from outside, followed by the patter of feet.
Snakes do not attack, but if they're afraid of snakes.
But also, a man just stepped out of a building and snakes erupted from his fingertips. And if you don't know whether they're poisonous or not, and all of a sudden there's these like snakes everywhere, you're like, run!
Only 8 of them.
If you walked out of a building and someone threw a bag of 8 snakes at you,
yeah, that's pretty terrifying.
That's pretty terrifying, you know. And maybe if they were like trained fighters, or like they were somehow. I mean, you can draw the information from what you will. Like people who run from 8 snakes being thrown at them are. You make your own conclusions based on that information. Silva comes to the.
Start screaming. I'm screaming Silva in that Eastern European accent, and I'll scream for Newt in my typical country bumpkin accent.
Silva, Newt,
Silva, Newt. So it just gets convoluted, and I'm just running up the stairs.
Tual comes to the door.
Who does?
Tual, or was it Alto? Her brother.
She never gave me names for them.
Yeah, she called out at him. I think she called him Tual. He comes to the door, sword drawn, and in common goes, "What?"
There were some unwelcome guests at the door. I sent them away with my trouser snakes, but I fear the security may be compromised. Is Newt in there? Newt
he grunts
I
and
start backing up down the staircase.
He grunts and walks in and shuts the door behind him, seemingly not caring about you.
So I cautiously go back down the staircase and open the front door again to see if they're gone.
You see Portia sticking his head out of his little hobbit hole. Outside, you just see snakes like slithering on the ground. A couple of them head over to the rose bushes.
I
see no sign of the bandits.
Do I know that they're non-poisonous and that they will not attack?
You have no fucking idea.
It says so in the wild surge results.
But you're just like, you just magic all over the place.
So I walk through the garden
Okay,
back
the
to.
snakes leave you alone, and as you get out into the street, you see the three of them, the three bandits or brigands or thugs or whatever, running down the street.
All right. I will head back towards the side of town where I've got my inn on.
Okay. You make it back to town, no problem. The wind is howling through the streets, and large gusts occasionally make you stumble from side to side or forward or back. Um, but you eventually make it down back to the plunge.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, those elves did not. Maybe they'll come back at some point, but wasn't what I was expecting. I was hoping to have a nice quest lead. Let me go visit a unicorn, go dance around in their elven fairy fires or whatever they do in the woods. Not going to happen.
Not
So
gonna happen.
I'm going to start planning my journey back north
Okay.
like I had originally intended.
Yeah, you get
Um,
back to the plunge.
I
The
actually
big
don't know.
oaf is there. He goes, "Oh,
Mhm.
well, hello. Welcome back to the plunge, mister."
All right. My business in this town is done. I will be heading back northwards.
Well,
Do you know where I might find a caravan to tag along?
well, I would
Or
head towards the exit of town. Sometimes there's caravans leading from there, but they usually leave pretty early in the morning, and I bet you might have missed them all.
one more night, then I suppose. I hand him 7 silver.
Thank you, mister. Okay.
Room number four
About
will
what
be
do you do
just
for the rest of
fine.
the day?
Um, I'll hang out in this establishment in the plunge in the common room with all of my stuff on me, keeping an eye on my belongings and drinking cautiously.
Okay. Half an hour later, the elves show back up and just walk straight to their
I
room.
I give them a wink from across the room if they make eye contact, but they may just be have had it up to here with me.
You get the impression they've had it up to there with you, and they just disappear to their rooms. Unless you have anything you want to do, the rest of the day passes pretty uneventfully. You can make small talk with folks.
If there's any rumors or anything interesting that I hear, I will. I mean, you can tell them to me. Otherwise, I'll just while away the evening and memorize spells in the morning. Um, hmm. We never dealt with experience for last session, but maybe we'll just tack that on at the end of this
Yeah,
session.
we'll just. I mean, you're not going to hit 2,500, I don't think.
Yeah, I've got like 600 now. No,
Did we do it for the very first session?
we did it for the first session, but not for the drunken session. So
Okay.
I did like I don't
Yeah,
know,
but that the drunken session is with
napalm a bunch of orcs
the
and
orc and the
goblins.
goblins and the sword.
Yeah.
That actually might level you. Let's do some experience right now.
Well, I mean, an orc is only 35 experience, unless you've changed that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And the two goblins are only 15, and I'm probably splitting them with that guy that or that I helped. And then I guess I
Yeah.
did. There was some battle with the actual guys that I saved, where I summoned the rust
Yeah.
monster and did battle with them. So it's a bunch of like for one hit die
Yeah.
squads that I defeated
hmm
without ever actually taking a hit.
But I'm also going to give you experience for acquiring a magic flaming sword.
I always was under the impression that the
The loot was
having
the
a
loot.
magic item was reward enough. At
It
least
can
that was
be.
for Qualnir. That
Yeah.
experience would have gotten out of hand if I gave you XP for every magical item you recovered
I may not give it for every, but I will give it for select. And in this
for the
case,
first my
well, I
first
mean,
flaming sword.
the sword that you've acquired has led to a lot of interesting things. It has been a very eye-opening experience for you. You know, if you had picked up the sword and nothing had happened with it, I wouldn't have given it to you. But the fallout from that has been experiential.
Yep, I've never even seen it hit anything, so it may very well be very cursed.
Um,
I've only made one attack roll with it, and that was the -4.
all right, and that dude, and then selling the book, which didn't actually get sold, but
No,
there's
I'm
an
actually
interesting thing
yeah, I'm actually
there.
considering paying a visit to their abbey or whatever.
Okay.
And
You have a 10% bonus, right?
yes, I do.
Well, fuck, this is a lot more experience than I thought it would be. I'm going to round the fractions up, so it is 2008 experience.
That would be enough to level me up. How did
It
it get so
is?
high? Yeah, I've already got 669 from the very first session
All right, so you're at
from the sewer stuff,
2677,
including the 10%.
including the 10%.
So that's enough to level.
All right,
Um,
so you rest for the rest of the day in the inn. Um, yeah,
let's roll a hit die.
give me a D4.
Fuck. 1.
That's 4 HP for you now.
4 total HP. Yep.
Nice. And a second spell slot.
And yeah, second. So yeah, third
Second
spell slot,
first
I
level spell
guess.
slot.
And I don't believe anything else changes.
No, no.
Eventually, we'll have to figure out learning spells. But I guess I mean, no, I probably don't spontaneously learn spells as I level. We'll do it like researched as part of.
Yeah. So you kill the rest of the day making small talk, and reflecting on where your life has taken you and where you want to be. And as you wake up, the next morning, you just kind of you feel like you have a better grasp on the powers at hand,
Yeah.
and you find that you're able to learn an extra spell a day.
Yeah. So I'll memorize sleep and let's do sleep and grease and Nahal's reckless dreamer, of course.
Okay, sleep,
Always.
grease, Nahal's reckless dreamer. Excellent.
And I will head off to the north end of town and try and find a caravan traveling north.
Yep. The guy at the front desk goes, "All right, I'll see you later, mister. Thanks for your business."
Yeah.
And you meet up. You go looking for a caravan, and you come across a a human farmer. It seems that's got literally a turnip truck. I guess it's a turnip wagon. But with him is a very well armed man with kind of scars across his neck and a battle axe at his side and chainmail on him. It looks like the farmer has hired himself a mercenary to get him through the woods as he heads north. God knows how far he's going, but for now he's got a mercenary with him.
Well, I will ask him how far he's going. So I'll walk up to the. Looks like you're getting ready to head out north. How far are you headed? And would you
Oh,
mind some company along the road?
I'm going to Keygate and then through the maw.
Oh,
Headed far beyond the marsh. You need a lift, stranger?
uh, or I can walk alongside, whatever's easiest. How many ox does he have, or draft horses, or whatever?
2 donkeys.
2 donkeys.
He says, "Well, it's not a problem. I just would only ask you to help pitch in for the protection as far as you go."
Yeah, sure. What's this? What's
Yeah,
this
throw me a
lack
couple of silver and we'll call it even. Couple of
I'll
silver a day.
Very well, very well. You camping or?
Well, we're gonna camp at the edge of the woods and then push on through Grimheld the next day.
Gilmheld, I think. Yeah. All right. So so I pitch on in. Do we settle on a actual price per day? He just said
Couple
a
of
couple
silver.
of silver.
Yeah.
So 2 silver a day.
Yeah.
I'll pay him out 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll give him 10 silver and say I'm going as far as Marmon, at least for now.
Okay.
And we'll see as the things go on.
Okay.
And so I guess so we leave first light, or pretty much first thing in the morning. Is it
Yeah.
just me, this farmer, and
Yeah, the farmer introduces himself as Augustus, and his mercenary is Brack.
Brack? What kind does Brack have? A sword or something?
Battle axe.
A battle axe? An armor of some kind? I assume?
Chainmail.
All right, so I guess we head north. I'll probably sit on the back of the turnip truck. Does Brack sit as well?
Nope, Brack walks.
Okay, so then I'll split my time, I guess, between walking alongside if I need to stretch my legs or
Yeah,
sitting on the back.
it's a pretty easygoing journey. You head through the forest of Elmstead, and once you're outside of the actual town, the wind seems to die down. Maybe the trees are giving you lots of cover from it or something, but the wind isn't so bad outside of the city. You camp that evening at the very edge of the woods, kind of where the woods have almost not quite like a definite woods no woods edge, but there's a point where all of a sudden it thins out a lot and the trees look younger.
A
Um,
tree line. Are we going down in elevation, or is
no,
it just like okay from
uh,
trees to plains?
mhm.
I'll ask Brack if these are dangerous roads to be traveling on.
All the roads are dangerous. Life
uh,
is danger. Get used to it.
you a light sleeper? Do we need to set watches at night, or you got our security covered?
Everything's fine. I'll take care of it.
Alrighty.
So you guys go to sleep, and as you do so, you see Brack unfurling some rope from his pack and like winding it around some trees and like hanging bells from it. He seems to have like a few 100 feet of rope and a bunch of bells, and he sets up like a perimeter. I guess it's not rope; it's string would be probably the better way to describe it. It's very thin.
Yeah,
So he sets up this huge perimeter of maybe like
I'm
500 feet of string, just
I'm
like in a
taking note of
circle around
this,
you.
and I'm actually pretty intrigued. Well, that's very
Um,
clever.
with, like little bells hung in between the trees and whatnot.
If I was stronger, I'd carry one of those.
Yeah, seems like an interesting, if somewhat easily avoidable, detection system. You know, if someone doesn't notice it in
Most
the
of the
night, it's
time, it's
great.
going to be animals that you're keeping out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Surprisingly, you guys don't encounter anything throughout the night. You don't wake up. There's no animals that trigger it. But as you awake, well, you
I
awake
would have been
partway through the
sleeping.
night.
I don't have any bedrolls or anything, so I'd have been like
No,
sleeping
we haven't
on my
yet.
bag with spare clothes wrapped around me if it's
Yeah.
cold, curled up next to the fire.
It does get cold throughout the night. It gets
So I
really
basically got
cold.
all of my shit just like bundled up
Hmm.
with me. It may not be
Yeah.
comfortable, but I'm a little paranoid.
The three of you keep waking up in the night because it gets colder and colder, and you guys are like, "What the fuck? This never gets us cold in this part of the town, or
Okay.
this part of the world."
So
And
eventually
you
I'll
guys keep
probably just wake up
piling.
and keep the fire going and
Oh
just
yeah,
sleep
it
and just
seems like
shiver
you
by the
guys are all
fire.
waking up and throwing wood on the fire, and going out and getting wood, and at some point, Augustus trips the line, wakes everyone up, and then he's like, "Sorry, it's just me. I'm gathering firewood to keep it going. Gosh golly, gee, it sure is cold out
Not a
here."
very restful night.
No. In the morning, you guys finally do wake up. Fire is still going because you've been tossing logs on it like crazy. And you look out into the plains, but it's all covered, like the plains are white.
It snowed.
You don't know what snow is, though.
Really? I've never seen
You've
snow
never
before.
seen or heard of snow in your life.
What is that?
I don't
I
know.
kneel down and inspect it.
It's not in the forest. Like the tree line
Okay.
keeps it safe. So you guys poke out
So I pack up all
and
my
go
things.
around, and you come across snow. It's this cold, white, crunchy shit that melts in your hand, and it's below freezing.
Yeah, I play with it as we walk.
You find it forms into balls very easily.
I
You
throw the
like
balls.
balls.
No one in particular. Just juggle them around.
Okay. Um, you guys eventually get your shit together, not understanding what it is, and push on to Gilmheld. As you walk out through the plains, you notice there's this white shit falling from the sky everywhere. Seems to be the same stuff on the ground. Um, and even though there's no wind anymore and no rain, this is just falling as far as the eye can see. You look back and you see the forest has like, the tops of the forest are peaked with this white crap everywhere.
White crap. Cold white crap.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, it's probably still a novelty, so we're intrigued as we trudge on to Gilmheld. I am a proficient herbalist,
Mm-hmm.
and I will be looking for any edible things along the road because I don't think I've eaten since in like 24 hours.
You had some
Yeah.
turnips from the truck.
Barbecue turnip.
Yeah.
Do I have rations? I don't think I do. Yeah, so I'm like keeping my eyes peeled as we walk for like berries on the side of the road or
It's
some
all covered
lettuce.
in this
All
white shit.
covered in fucking snow, huh?
Yeah. You guys get to Gilmheld, and people are in a flurry. You didn't see anyone traveling your direction on the road the whole day, which is pretty unusual. Um, and people are outside, like standing, like shivering outside. And as you guys approach, the what looks to be the town sheriff comes out to you with a couple of his guys, and they all have weapons in their hands. And they go, "Huh, It's, tell what news of the south? Does this dastardly ice extend all the way south? What is
Uh,
this?
we just came from Elmstead, I say. Not day before last. This hit in the night. Seems to be a cold, powdery substance that easily forms into balls. And I toss one at one of the guards. A little snowball.
He brings his weapon to like smash at it. Actually hits it and it just like scatters into dust around him, and he.
Good to know we've got such capable protection. Have you been locked in? None of your caravans made it out this morning?
People are too scared to leave. They don't know what this stuff is. Poor animals will freeze to death in it.
Aside from being cold, it seems like we're fine. I look to the farmer, whatever his name was. I didn't.
Augustus.
Augustus. I'll write it down on my character sheet. But if you keep track of all these NPCs, eventually you just have.
Oh, you don't need to write Augustus down. You're never going to meet him again.
Okay. He's no masturbates.
He's no master. Yes. So you guys stop over in Gilmheld for the night.
I'll
7
purchase
silver
some
for food and drink
rations.
and sleep.
What's the
Rations are a
rations cost?
gold per day.
Jesus, no! I'll just eat a big ass meal and
Yeah.
7. God, I'm gonna go broke.
Yeah, it's.
I was supposed to make it big in Elmstead, but I only came back with
Well,
a
you
dozen or
spent.
so gold that I spent all of.
Yeah, you spent half of your earnings basically
Yeah.
dealing with elves, trying to get in good with them.
But
Ended
I
up
got that
pissing them
magic
off.
sword. I'm a made man.
Hmm.
All right, 7 silver for food, lots of food.
The next
And
day, you
one
guys
day.
head out north, except all the caravans wait to leave together. All the wagons, they all kind of. It seems that no one wants to be the first one out, and then someone gets up and is like, "All right, we're all gonna travel together in one big pack, and we'll all camp together on the side of the road. Whatever this is, if we stick together, we should be fine." And so you guys kind of
So I'm
form
now
a
paying rent on a
caravan.
mercenary when suddenly everyone's traveling together.
Yeah.
Should not have paid up front. All right. So
All
I
right.
travel along with the caravan, probably walking amongst the caravan and interacting with various people.
Yeah.
Keeping my ear for rumors. They're probably all boring ass country bumpkins though, traveling.
Pretty much everyone's just talking about the snow and what it might be and where it's coming from, and it continues to snow all night and
Just
all day, and so
no one knows.
no one
So in
knows
this
what
part
the
of the
fuck
world,
this
no
shit
one has
is.
seen snow before.
Yeah. Um.
There's no like legends there.
Nope.
Hmm.
Nope. As you guys approach Linvort, well, you travel throughout the whole day. Like there's no rest, there's no stop. Everyone just pushes on, and when you have a group this big, it tends to be slow. Someone will break down, and everyone like move the wagon off the side and then try and patch it up.
Yeah,
And
it's
so you guys
traffic
don't
jam.
actually
The
get
old
into
traffic jam.
you don't get into Linvort until the late at night, like well after dark.
Are there in rooms available, or is it just flooded
There
with?
there are inn rooms available,
There's
and
enough.
the innkeepers seem very happy. They're bustling to and fro. The inns are chock full of firewood, with a roaring fire in the hearth, and everyone's discussing the business of the day. Um, is there anything in particular you'd like to do in Linvort?
Hmm. I don't think so.
Okay.
No, I'm probably just heading back to Marmon and
All right. It takes you another 2 days of
skewers that
traveling
away.
like that.
At 7 silver a night, really that much, including food?
No, because when you get there, there are all the individual rooms are taken. There's
Okay.
only the like flop house common room, which they
Okay.
charge you 5 copper to just like crash on the common room in the common room somewhere near a fire.
Okay.
So
I'll
5
probably
copper for a night, and then 2 silver a day for food.
Okay. So and that's where are we fast forwarding to? How many
To
days?
Marmon.
To
So that's
Marmon.
another 10 copper and 4 silver to get you to Marmon.
So I'll shell out 5 silver. The last of my silver.
Yeah.
I probably don't get much sleep. I don't
Mm-mm.
need to recover spell slots or hit points or anything, so I
No.
just sort of
But after a couple of
push
days
on
of
to Marmon.
traveling through this white crap, which only seems to get worse,
Really, it's piling
but
up.
by the time you get to Marmon, the snow is like knee high everywhere. Although Marmon is kind of in the woods, so it's not as bad here, but snow does trickle through, and the city itself has snow all over it. But the woods are less snowy. Like less snow actually reaches the ground because the woods are so dense.
All right. And as I get into Marmon, I will go straight to
Dagon's.
Diagon's place. Yeah.
Does it have a name?
The Goofy Dog.
Oh yeah, the Goofy Dog. I love the Goofy Dog.
Mm.
All right, so you get to the Goofy Dog, and um, you see Digon behind the bar, polishing a glass and looking happy, and broad grin on his face. A bunch of the other adventurers are kicking around. They all seem to be joking and laughing, and you haven't seen people this happy or at ease since you left Elmstead.
All right. I take a sit at the bar and I say, "Business looks good, Digon." I say, I conjured up this hellstorm just for you, and I give him a wink.
Well, if it isn't, I'm sorry. What's your name again?
Uh,
I know it's Fenric. I know. I'm just messing with you, buddy.
Playing hard to get.
Yeah.
I see who it is. I was pausing for a second there to think about giving him an alternate identity, but I'm already established here. He recognizes me.
So, you make your fortune?
Oh, made it and spent it. You know how it goes.
Oh, well, that's why you got to go make another one.
Any more news from the sewers?
His face
Have those lizard
turns
men-
kind of dour and goes, "Yeah."
Someone put down those lizard men yet?
Gtech got in his mind to go back there a couple days
Oh,
ago.
no. Did the
Haven't
boy
seen him
come back?
since. No. But that's the life, Friends die. Life goes on.
I sort of fall silent.
Yeah.
Hardly knew the kid, but
Well,
lizard men, it's a rough. Well,
Rockbreaker over there, he says, nodding towards the same dwarf that you burned.
Rockbreaker. Okay.
You had never gotten his name before.
Yeah, I know. That's what it was.
Rockbreaker over there says he poked his head down there, but didn't go poking around too far. We presume he's dead, but he shrugs. It's warm down there. Maybe he's alive.
I will. Yeah, I'll eventually. I guess I'll pay for a room in the inn.
Yeah, 5 silver.
5 silver. I'll have to break a gold.
He breaks it for you without,
Yeah, and does that include food or no? Food's on top.
It's 2 silver a day for food.
Okay.
You're getting eggs and beans, lots of beans in this part of the world.
Adventuring fuel.
Yeah, as you're kicking around and just doing whatever, you see Cookie come back into the inn.
Oh no.
And she looks around and Digon points to you, and she comes storming over to you and puts her hands on her hips and says, "Fenric! First, you left me here all by myself, and then this snow shit starts falling everywhere, and then my brother goes missing. As far as I'm concerned, you're responsible for all 3. Now, you get your butt in gear, and you head back down to those sewers, and you find my little brother. You bring him back to me, safe in one piece."
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Good. Then you're going to take me, and we're going to get the hell out of this. What'd you call it again, Dagon? She shouts across the room, and he goes, "Blizzard!" And she goes, "Out of this blizzard!"
Yes, ma'am. To the sewers first thing in the morning.
Why are you going to wait till morning? It's just as dark in the sewers as it is up here during the daylight or nighttime. She keeps her hands on her waist and starts tapping her foot on the ground, giving you a.
I can be really uncomfortable. Yeah, just let me take care of a few things and I'll get right on it. I have to water my dog, and
Well, let's go
myself
water
to
him then,
go to
she
the
says, and
restroom.
starts tugging on your sleeve to pull you up out of your chair.
Well, we're going to need to hire some muscle if we're going back in those sewers. They're crawling with lizards.
Dagon! You still for hire these days? And he shakes his head. And she looks at you and goes, well, you better find someone. I ain't
I
leaving my
go,
baby brother down there, and I ain't got no coin to hire someone.
Jesus. I will try and get away from her and go approach Rockbreaker.
She follows you.
How drunk does he look?
More drunk than you. Oh, if it's not the little pyromancer.
So Rockbreaker, it's good to see you.
Singed my beard last time. I don't like it when my beard gets singed.
It's growing in quite well, if I do say so myself.
So, what'll it be? Another sewer adventure?
I assume you've heard what happened to the boy Gtech.
Well, yeah. Shame, but that's how you call the weak.
This is his sister, Cookie.
She's
Cookie, this is Rockbreaker.
She crosses her arms and she goes, oh, my apologies, ma'am. She goes, well, we are not calling no one. Dagon's alive down there. We just gotta go find him.
Gtech's alive.
Gtech's alive down there. We just gotta go find him.
I say, I'm afraid I don't have much in the way of coin, but Cookie was able to rummage up these fine pearl earrings to pay you. And I try and catch Cookie's eye and give her like a... Just play along, and I present the pearl earrings to the dwarf. Maybe you got a lady friend who'd be interested in them.
Takes a look at him and goes,
buy your services for a good day.
He goes, this will buy my services for a good month.
Seriously?
Couple of months.
Earrings you got here, Cookie.
I ain't asking where they come from, he says, and he puts them in a pocket. As long as it doesn't come find me.
No, sir. Family heirloom.
I got a lot of family heirlooms. None of them are my families, though.
So, Cookie here's got it in her pretty little head that we're going down there immediately. But I might defer to your strategic judgment.
He belches out something. He goes, I'm fine. I'm good to travel. Let's do this. And he reaches around for an axe and then oh, here it is. Picks it up off the table in front of him.
Very well.
I'm good to go. He stretches out and hops up off his little chair and waits for you to lead the way.
I lead the way, lighting my lantern as I walk.
Okay. Cookie runs over to Dagon and talks to him for a bit and comes back with a short sword. Without a sheath. Literally, he just pulls a short sword out of his sheath and hands it to her. And she takes off with it.
I look her up and down. For a second there, I consider pulling out the magic short sword, but I fear that it might be cursed. So I'm going to leave that packaged in cloth and concealed for now.
Mm-hmm.
And we will approach that same sewer grating that we entered last time, unless one of the NPCs says there's a better entrance. But I think I'm leading.
Yeah, yep, you lead. You trudge through the snow to find the sewer entrance, and you have to dig it out, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you do so.
Do any tricks. I just move away the snow and remove the cover from the sewer grate. Okay. And I will go down first. Do we have time to do some sewer crawling?
We got some time to do some sewer crawling.
Okay.
Yeah. We may end on an epic cliffhanger, or not. But we got some time to poke around the sewers a bit.
Okay. So I climb down the staircase first, holding my lantern before me as I go.
Okay. You head through the sewers. Cookie behind you.
So I get down to the bottom, and I let the Cookie and Rockbreaker catch up. And I'll probably send Rockbreaker first once we're down the staircase.
Okay.
I'm just sort of inspecting, making sure it's clear, and then come on down.
You guys
the water's fine.
Down into the sewers. That sounds like your no.
Yeah, that was laugh. My Noel laugh.
Yeah.
My Noel yip.
You get into the sewers. Rockbreaker takes the lead. Cookie pulls up the rear. You're in the middle. Your lantern swinging well above everyone's head to light the way.
I'm gonna light a. Well,
thought you didn't have any more torches.
Oh, you're right. I might not. Let me check my character sheet. Yeah, they're gone. All right. Just got my lantern then. I'm not sure how easy it'll be to set the grease on fire, but
You
maybe
guys,
maybe
go
yeah.
ahead.
I was just gonna say Rockbreaker will probably appreciate it if I'm not setting my grease on fire.
Probably. You, which way do you go? Do you head? We're gonna
I
call it
asked.
north
I'm gonna
towards
ask
where
Cookie if
you.
she knows where Gtech would have gone.
She shrugs. He said he was going into the sewers, and that's the last I saw of him.
Yeah. Well, this is the way he and I went, and I gesture north.
Okay. North you go. You pass the grate that sticks out into the sewer a
Yeah.
little
Is the
bit.
water level higher now?
The water level is actually much higher. It's about uh, shin high on you, and so you actually have to like walk out.
So we won't stay on the path. Well, we don't. Okay.
Yeah, but there's
I'm
that
gonna.
part where the grate comes out.
Yeah.
You
I'm gonna
hold on
try
to
and
the grate.
climb across the little railing, and I'd fuck it. I'll buy new boots
Okay.
eventually.
Yeah.
I'll make new boots out of gator skin.
You wade through the water. I mean, I guess this only comes to your shin. It comes to the dwarf's knees, but whatever. And you make it back to the sidewalk on the
But
other
it's
side.
flowing, right? It seems relatively clean. It's not
Mhm.
like raw sewage.
Yeah, it seems nice and clean. It
Now
doesn't
that I've-
smell nearly as bad as it used to down here.
Now that I've kicked open the dam and rediverted a bunch of water and
hmm
done some rearranging down here.
Yep.
Right.
You
So we
proceed
get back on the
northward
path
until you come to that fork again.
I'm gonna go right and take a peek at the dam, or
All right.
gesture with my lamp.
You-
Sir Dwarf.
You head and you see the dam has been reconstructed. Actually, as you go right, you notice very quickly that the water doesn't flow this direction. The water's coming down from the left path, and the right path is actually pretty dry. You make it to the dam, and you see it has been rebuilt with bits of rock, some mud, what looks like some excrement from some like waste from a humanoid, and whatever other like bits of rocks and twigs and
All right,
stuff that
Rockbreaker,
gets
on guard. I'm gonna take a look at this new construction, and I inspect the dam.
it's very crudely constructed. It's the equivalent of like kids damming up, like when we would go down to Galita Beach and like dam up the slough there, and we just like
Yeah.
pile sand in the way to like slightly divert the slough.
Except
Yeah.
instead of sand, it's feces.
Yeah, it's feces and rocks and some cloth and some branches. And shit.
Unless I see anything valuable jutting out, perhaps a magic spell book, I
No.
will leave it standing for the time being.
Okay.
This
other
is a
side
dead
of it-
end, right? This is like this
No,
goes
the
out.
other side is a cave, like a cavern that goes left and right. A
Well,
natural
Cookie,
rock cavern.
I look back to her. I say, "You know Gtech better than I. What do you think would pique his fancy? I think this may be where the lizard men came in.
Well, he's always headstrong. He's never one to. He always had more bravery than common sense.
That's not helpful at all. I put my. Is that Lauren?
Food. I don't know what it is,
fuel.
but it's food.
All right. I stick my lantern out into the natural passageway
Okay.
and take a peek.
I'd say if he was going to go one way, he'd go upriver. He always likes a challenge and is never smart enough to realize when he should back down. But that's just my guess.
All right. So what do I see? Is it just a? does
It's
it head
a
north and
natural
south?
cavern. It's a kind of. It's very tunnel-like. I would want to
Or does it
say
go straight
7
ahead?
feet wide, 7 or 8 feet wide. One end of it goes left and uphill. The other end goes right and downhill, and the water flows through it.
Is there anywhere to walk, or would you have to walk on water?
You'd have to walk through the water, but the water is not deep. Just a couple inches.
All right. I will. All right. Lead on, Rockbreaker.
Okay. You guys proceed up the cavern for a while. It doesn't seem to have any branches or forks in the first 2 minutes that you're walking up it. How far do you want to walk before you want me to like?
I think up to like half an hour.
Okay.
Oh yes, listen to the glorious sounds of Neil Chew. Doesn't that sound delicious, chat? Oh yeah.
The tunnel continues for a while, and then it kind of stops going uphill and becomes very level. and then it actually dips back down, and there is like it dips below the water line.
Say what dips below the water line?
So
Say that again.
the cavern, which only has like an inch of water, right? It's like 7.5 feet wide, 7.5 feet tall. Is going uphill, uphill, and then it kind of goes this way, and then it turns and dips down. But the water is still higher. So like
And it's
it
still
dips
7 feet
below the
wide?
water. Yeah.
So it levels out, and I come to like a like a standing like a pool that's constantly overflowing or whatever.
Yes.
How long does it extend? I've got like 30 feet of
It
light.
goes down underwater.
Oh,
Like the caravan, the cavern goes up level and then back down. So it looks like water comes down and then is pushed back up through that. So it goes underwater.
I reckon you'd have to be a lizard man to swim through that.
Or a fool,
Well-
says Rockbreaker.
Well, I guess this is where we turn around. Have we seen no side passages?
No, and it's only been like 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
So we turn around and head. I guess we'll head downstream 5 minutes or so.
Downstream, the path levels out pretty quickly and is almost flat. Maybe dipping down occasionally here and there. Give me. No. Let's do this other thing. Holy shit. Okay. You guys come around as the cavern like turns slightly, you come around a corner into another one of these like weird dam sorts of things that runs like halfway down the channel and then against the wall. So if we were to let's do a little quick overview so you can see what I mean.
Sketcheroony.
Yeah. So top-down view, the channel is like this, and it's mostly rounded, and then there's like a semi-dam that comes out like this, and the course of the water goes around it, and this section down here is dry land. And in the dry land, you see 4 eggs, 4 white and green eggs. Piled in a little nest of mud or poop. You're not sure which.
How big are they?
About yay big. Like an ostrich egg, maybe?
Do they have hard shells or squishy shells?
You're too far away to really test.
I mean, I'm going to gesture for Rockbreaker to continue on, and I wish to inspect the eggs. I'm looking out for any lizard men, perhaps a mother tending the eggs or guarding the eggs. Or if the water would be perhaps deep enough for someone to hide.
Do you have
where it's dammed.
What are your non-weapon proficiencies?
Nothing that's particularly applicable. I have reading, writing, fire building, engineering, herbalism, alchemy, brewing.
Give me a intelligence check then.
$24.
Oh, okay. These look like oversized lizard eggs.
So maybe not a lizard man. I've seen lizard eggs. I guess I grew up in the bayou. Crocodile eggs and turtle eggs and lizard eggs.
Right. They look something along those lines.
So they are kind of. So it is kind of a softish shell.
Soft, but not
Squishy but
too
durable.
soft. Yeah, exactly.
All right. How much do they weigh each? I don't see anyone else around. I've sort of stuck my staff in the mud, so I'm illuminating the area. I've got Rockbreaker on guard. Cookie's probably.
You go to pick it up and weigh it, and you feel something move inside of it as you pick it up.
So it's like this big, right?
Yeah.
Like ready to hatch.
Yeah. It weighs a good 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds. And it seems to be filled with some sort of fluid, although as you pick it up, it like conforms to the bottom of your hand because it's, yeah.
I hold it up to the lamplight and see if I can see the creature through the translucent shell. Does it look like a full-formed lizard? Or does it look
Mostly
humanoid?
formed lizard.
Looks like a lizard. Is it moving around? Like, does it seem like it's bursting at the seams, about ready to hatch?
It like thrashes around a little bit and then stays still.
I set it back down in the mud. Scratch my chin.
Cookie goes, "Are those what I think they am?
Lizard eggs, I say.
Shouldn't we break them?" She says.
That's what I was contemplating. Do they all look about the same size?
Yeah.
Same maturity?
Yeah. They look like a nest.
They are just babies. And then
Babies that'll grow up one day to haunt these sewers, says Rockbreaker.
Fenric's daydreaming of raising a lizard man army one day, and contemplating not breaking the eggs.
Mm-hmm.
But I worry that if I shove them in my backpack, that could lead to disastrous results. I wish I had a spare backpack. So unless Cookie or something tries to break the eggs, I'm probably just going to leave them there in the mud.
No, they respect your wishes.
They couldn't be bigger than like a foot of a lizard if it does hatch.
No, if they hatch, they're going to be like tiny little things that you could
Infants.
step on.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do not look to pose any threat to you.
All right, I'll leave them behind, but note this location.
Okay.
How deep is the water next to the nesting area?
A few inches.
Okay. I'm going to take one egg and put it in my backpack.
Okay. As you start to pick up this egg and rifle through your pack, Rockbreaker goes, "Oh shit, I think we got company." And you
Okay, I look up.
You look up, egg still in your hand, and you see two lizard men crawling up the path towards you. One of them has a spear, the other has a longsword.
And we roll for initiative.
We roll for initiative.
So Rockbreaker is in front of me. Is Cookie still behind me?
Cookie is still behind you.
7. I'm attempting to throw this egg at the lizard men.
Okay. You are
Shouting
tied with the two lizard men.
So I shout for their attention as I lob their unborn young in their general direction,
Okay.
hoping that one of them will catch it. And
Sadly, you guys are tied for initiative, so they're making their actions separate from that. That looks like they're going to miss it, but you do it anyway, because initiative tie. You know how it goes. They come straight at the dwarf. Oh, shit.
I guess I'll make a roll to hit at one of the lizard men.
Please do. They both strike home
natural
on the
19.
dwarf.
So even with my -5, I get a 14 to hit.
Yeah,
they both hit? What's his name?
They both hit the dwarf. They both hit Rockbreaker for 12 damage total. Shit.
Is he still standing?
Yeah, he's still standing. You don't know his level, but he can take some damage.
All right. So, and how much? I don't know if you want me to roll any damage for that egg or what happens.
No,
when
the
it strikes
egg
the
doesn't
lizard man?
cause any damage, but it splits open when it hits a lizard man. Like a little lizard falls out of it and plops to the ground, squirming and worming.
Does it seem alive? Like, does the lizard wriggle into the water and seem functional, or is it not quite ready?
Do you pay enough attention to figure that out right now?
No, probably not.
No. The lizards go and hiss at you with horror and terror. Cookie goes next. I'm gonna give her a morale check actually, because, well, Cookie.
Because, well, Cookie.
Okay, let me just combine some dice here. And Cookie's morale is not strong enough to handle this, and she backs down the hallway, the cavern. Rockbreaker goes next, and he gives a grunt and swings his axe at one of the creatures, smashing into its side for 3 damage. The lizard man.
They already went. We're rolling
Yeah,
initiative.
I'm rolling his HP.
Oh.
The lizard man seems none too bothered by this.
Yeah.
Oops.
All right.
Yeah, no, wait. No, HP's lying. The HP is lying to me. Okay, cool. Let's do re-initiative.
I am casting Sleep, and God, I'm hiding behind Rockbreaker and rolling horribly on my initiative. Yeah.
There it is. There it is. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's fine. Let's see. Lizardman initiative. You got an 11. Looks like Rockbreaker goes first. He swings his axe at the same lizard man, cracking home again. This time for a more substantial 5 damage. And the lizard man shudders in pain. He's hitting the one with the long sword. You go at 11. One of the lizard men with the spear goes first, stabbing Rockbreaker. Another hit. God, these lizard men are awesome. For a single point of damage. Cookie quakes in her boots behind you as you go.
All right. So I produce some dried rose petals from my pouch, mutter some words, and sprinkle them, and they evaporate as I roll a wild surge.
All right, give me a d20. Don't roll an 8. Or do roll an 8. No, do roll a 20. Yeah.
An 8.
8 would be for 5th level, sadly.
Yeah, which I am not.
Right. Give me your hit
nothing.
dice.
Yeah, is it 2d4? Three. Shit. But one of them is wounded. Does that count? Or is it?
Nope.
So only one falls asleep?
Now let's determine which one. The wounded one collapses on the ground, asleep. And he was the one who hadn't gone yet. So initiative roll.
A 7.
The spearman goes first and hurls his spear at you, which gives Rockbreaker an attack of opportunity, which he whiffs. But the spear
kills me, and that
10,
is the
right?
end. My AC is just 10, unless I have cover from Rockbreaker.
No, the spear thuds in your chest, in like your gut/thigh area for 3 points of damage.
DM hacks?
No, D6. 50% chance to do less than half of your HP.
Yep, that level up actually did matter.
Mm-hmm. And what you rolled a 7?
I rolled a 7.
You go way before Rockbreaker.
Actually, it would probably be a.
I mean, he rolled a natural 10
away.
on it, so you're going first.
All right.
No matter what.
He's unarmed, right?
Yes.
Oh, I guess he has natural attacks, doesn't he?
Yes.
I shout YOLO as I rip my flaming sword from its sheath and drive it into the lizard man who just stabbed me with a spear.
Roll to hit.
I probably should have just pulled the spear out of myself and used that. -1.
You rip the sword out. It
flames sword
bathes the area in light as you swing it wildly in front of the lizard man to no effect whatsoever. But the lizard man's eyes go wide with fear as Rockbreaker goes, "Holy shit, boy, you found something, didn't you?" As he swings at the lizard man, wildly missing. Let's get some more initiatives.
Oh shit. Oh wait, not D20.
Nope. Nope, 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 nope. You go
5.
first. Yeah. Do it again.
7. Not gonna do it. I hiss loudly in the lizard's man's general direction.
The lizard man disengages and retreats.
So I don't get an attack of opportunity?
No. And he, falls back and well, in theory, you can pursue. You can use your move action on his turn to follow him if you so desire.
No, I'll let him flee. I'll see how brave Rockbreaker's feeling. I'm going to use my
Rockbreaker hurls his axe at him, and the axe clatters harmlessly on the side of the wall.
Not so fuck yeah. I will use my now unsheathed flaming sword to lob off the head of the sleeping lizard man.
It slices through the skull or the neck. It takes actually a couple of hacks to get it through, but the lizard man is dead by the first hack, it seems.
So it does seem effective. This is the first time I've ever actually struck home with this blade.
Oh yeah, it cuts through things very well. And there's a sizzle and a nice smell of barbecue.
Does it look like if the blade would need to... I can't even think of a way to clean the blade, can I?
You don't need to clean the blade. It
burns
all the
blood right off.
Well, that's why it's called the self-cleaning sword.
How much light does it shed?
It sheds light equal to. Is the torch light 10 feet?
15, I think. I
15?
believe my
Then
lantern
this
is 30.
sheds. Yeah, this sheds light in a 25-foot radius, just shy of your lantern.
All right. Does Cookie come back? What does Rockbreaker
Cookie
cry
comes
into
back,
mind?
and you look around, and both Cookie and Rockbreaker are eyeing your sword. Rockbreaker goes, "Where did you find that, son?"
I just give him a wink, and I hope that he won't get covetous.
Cookie saddles up next to you and goes, "Oh my, that is a impressive weapon you have there."
How you feeling, Rockbreaker? I look him up and down. He took a couple hits, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. He pulls aside, like pulls up his chainmail and reveals his belly where there's like all these wounds on him. He goes, "Ugh, I've seen better days, but I'll be damned if I'm going to be killed by some lizard man. The only lizard that'll ever kill me would be a dragon, and even that will all get a tough fight."
Well,
It's
shall
around
we
this time that
pursue?
Cookie gives a wild shriek and points at the longsword on the ground. He goes, "That's Daigon's sword. Or that's Gtech's sword."
I kneel down to inspect it. Is it just a longsword?
It's a longsword.
I pick it up out of the muck and hand it to Cookie, along with a small white handkerchief to wipe it clean.
She dabs her eyes with the handkerchief and then hands it back to you,
Okay.
and holds.
I meant for her to clean off the G-Tech's blade with it, but sure, that works too.
Yeah.
And I've still got the flaming sword in my right hand,
Mhm.
and I point it forward and I say, "Lead on, Rockbreaker."
For the record, Cookie is now dual wielding, longsword in her right hand.
Oh, I should have dual wielded. I could stack up my penalties to way more than -5. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping I'm not going to get hit. I'm hoping that Rockbreaker's not going to get hit. We're moving forward very cautiously at this point. I leave my quarterstaff in the mud with the lantern still going.
Okay.
For the record, it's got another probably like 4.5 hours.
You guys proceed
Right.
down the pathway, and pretty soon you hear this hissing noise. It sounds like a whole clan of lizard men hissing and talking.
In my
You
offhand,
can't
I
see it yet,
start
but
I
you
start
hear it.
playing with a little piece of fried pork skin, absent-mindedly.
You
So
round
I'm
a
sort of
bend, and your light,
holding
your
this
sword
flickering light over Rockbreaker's head.
sheds light. I guess I would say 25 feet if you're in the open, but the water and the rock is all nice and reflective, so I think the light goes a little further in an enclosed space like this.
It reflects and whatnot.
Yeah.
Refracts.
You step out into this area, which is the cavern that was 7 feet, 7.5 feet all the way around, now just opens up into a big cavern, maybe 40 feet across. You can't even see the end of it, and there's a big pool of water that all this stuff trickles into. There's actually like a short waterfall, and you see the eyes of looks to be a half dozen, maybe even a dozen lizard men. It's hard to tell. Give me a perception check with it.
Okay, yeah. So I'm going to be whispering to the dwarfs. I stay on this side of the choke point in case I need to blow this place up.
He says nothing but nods.
Yeah. I'm rolling. I'm rolling perception check. You said. Where's my... Oh, critical fail.
You see nothing.
All right.
The lizard men turn to face you, squinting their eyes against the burning sword.
I guess let's roll initiative.
Yeah, we're just going to do group initiative because there's so many. So you roll 1 for your party, I'll roll 1 for the lizard men.
6.
Party goes first, but just barely.
All right, so I'm holding Rockbreaker back. I assume we're just the inside, or we're still in the passageway, looking into this chamber before us. How far are the lizard men?
There's 2 that are standing in the water that comes up to their necks, and they're just whispering, talking to each other above it. There's 3 on the right side, and there is There's a few more kind of
Right.
further in the
I'm gonna
back.
cast my grease spell, hucking the bit of pork rind, uttering some incomprehensible words as it spreads out to a 10 by 10 square area of grease on the surface of the
Okay,
cavern in
I
front
should
of
note
Rockbreaker.
it's
Or
mostly a big pool, but there is some dry land on the right side of the path again, or the right side of the channel.
is that where the
That's where
guys
the
are?
3 lizard men are talking. The
I'm
2 in
just
the
gonna
water.
grease up the entrance. Is it? It's not water at the entrance, is it?
There's like this cavern comes out and there's like a foot drop, and the water kind of pours down, and then it just opens up into this much bigger area. There's no dry land between the waterfall and the actual dry land. There's like a 4 foot stretch of just water between you and there.
Is the how many feet from me are the lizard men? Okay,
Um,
I'll throw my grease spell at the dry land area.
okay, you guys are this time instead of heading down, you're heading
Okay.
up in this map, just because that's how it works in my
Yeah,
brain.
I think a map would probably, or at least a
Yeah,
sketch,
I'm sketching
so I
it
can
for
figure
you.
out where to throw my grease at.
This will be roughly to scale, and here's the little waterfall area, and this is kind of a... I think this is roughly to scale. Yeah. And then you have dry land. This might be a little bit closer, actually. Yeah. I guess this kind of extends out to here more than... Does that satisfy your curiosity?
Yeah, and you said there's a dozen lizard men, half in the water, half on land.
A dozen, half dozen, it's hard to tell. You see a set of eyes in the water here. And here, well, you see lizard men like actually sticking out. And then there is 1, 2, 3 here. And you think you might see some others back here, but it's hard to tell. It could be just the light playing tricks on your eyes.
No sign
Also,
of
your light
Gtech,
doesn't
is
extend
there?
that far, so...
No sign of Gtech, is there?
Not with the 1 on a perception check.
All right.
Where are you greasing?
So, where am I greasing? I will grease. Do I want to grease apple? No, I'm going to keep it close so that I can set it on fire if I need to. So it'll be just to the side. What happens if? I guess we'll find out what happens if I grease water as well. So it's a 10 by 10 area about there. I assume that Rockbreaker is sort of like just inside this choke here. Did I roll a wild surge already or no? $15. So I
No
think that
wild
was-
surge, but +1 to level.
Yeah. So I guess I'll roll the duration. I guess it's 5 rounds. No rolls. But anyone who tries to move through it will slip.
Is it 5 rounds per level?
No, 5 rounds total. 3 rounds plus 1 round per level.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll
Okay.
see what happens with the grease film on the surface of the water. It will probably disperse, but I'm guessing it will catch fire soon anyways, so.
Yeah, the grease on the water starts to level out and spread out. Rockbreaker says to you, I don't like this many.
Do you see the kid? I scan the room again, I guess, for signs of Gtech.
He points to the cluster of 3 and see, I think I see a body between them.
Damn.
And
Premature
Cookie goes,
Grease.
Gtech! And gives a loud shriek as she tries to jump the gap between her and the grease section of land, not
God.
understanding
Saving
what's
throw
going on.
versus spell.
Well, Dex check first, my friend. And that is actually very, very borderline. Let's roll her Dex. Fucking Cookie is a Dex master. She leaps over to the other side, no problem.
She get a
Fails
dex
her
bonus
saving
on-
throw.
and just falls flat on her face in the dry land.
Yeah.
Damn it, Cookie.
She, peters out flat on her face, half on the grease, half off the grease, as the lizard men over there approach her.
Oh, God.
You notice that these lizard men don't seem to have any weapons, but they come up and make.
Tear her to pieces.
They try and grab the stuff off her. I guess she gets attacks of opportunity on them.
Oh yeah, she does. She's dual wielding.
Shit and shit.
I guess they aren't natural weapons, so they
right. So she swings wildly at them because they're trying to actually grab her weapons, but one of them quickly like turns around and whaps her in the face with its tail, and Cookie falls silent. They drag her weapons away from her, and now they have weapons.
In one round?
I mean, move and attack, and then pick up a weapon off the ground.
This is about to get ugly. It's about to get ugly. Damn, Cookie, why did you have to do that? Oh, God. This is the difference between hirelings and henchmen. Michelle would never go leaping into a grease pit.
Yeah. Give me an initiative roll.
Yeah.
The other lizards kind of
water do?
They seem to just be watching you, although you notice two more approach. Yeah. The ones with weapons point them menacingly. The one with the short sword points it menacingly at a Cookie, and the one with the long sword retreats back to where it was before and points it at a body, which you now recognize to be Gtech, which is gagged, with its arms bound and its one remaining leg just kind of dangling.
He's missing a leg?
He's missing a leg.
Fuck Gtech. Cookie's about to get mutilated too. Do they drag Cookie away, or do they leave her?
They leave her there, but the swords are pointed at them, and they at you. The grease has spread a little bit on the surface of the water. Ooh, wow, that changed its color. How cool. I didn't know you could do that.
Cookie ruined everything. Do I just set her on fire and mutilate her beautiful, beautiful face?
What do you do?
I'm holding... So the lizard men don't take their turn? We rolled poorly on the initiative.
They do not approach or make any actions against you.
Cookie! So I guess Rockbreaker's probably looking to me to give an order. I see like 8 lizard men, it looks like.
6, 7, 8, maybe 9, I don't know.
They ate Gtech.
You see Rockbreaker like intermittently like releasing and gripping his axe. Like,
I direct him to grab Cookie's body and watch out for the grease. Drag her back.
I can't reach her.
How deep is the water? Doesn't look that deep, does it?
No, it doesn't look that deep. He just says, "I can't reach her."
Are you just gonna let her die?
It's your decision.
Is it too late for me to cast a spell?
No, you can cast a spell.
I guess I'll throw out my YOLO Nahal's Reckless Dreamer.
What are you trying to cast?
Sleep.
At?
I like centered on this guy.
Okay. Give me that D100 plus 1. And come on, Fireball.
100. Double effectiveness.
Yeah. Range, duration, area of effect, damage increases 200%. Give me 4d4.
Do I roll Wild Surge to see the level that I cast at, or is it just cast at normal level?
Do give me a d20 to see if there's a bonus to the level.
A 1, so it's a -1 level.
Which is still...
still level 1.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but it's still double effectiveness, so give me 44.
Level 2? Wait, so...
No, everything is doubled, so I'm going to say the number of hit dice are doubled as well.
So 44 hit dice worth of monsters.
Yeah.
That's just what I needed. Where? 13 hit dice.
Holy shit! And it's within. It used to be 30 feet of each other, so now it's 60 feet of each other.
This is exactly what I needed. It used to be range 30 yards, but it's 30 yards from... Oh, creatures within 30 feet of each other.
Yeah.
And the center is within 30 yards. So that's doubled to 60 feet of each other, like you said.
Yeah.
Which means pretty much every lizard man that I can see is targetable if there's enough. I think... So I don't know if 13 hit die, is that 6 of them? 5 of them?
6 of them immediately pass out.
The ones closest to the... Okay.
Those ones just like crumple. The ones in the water just start floating. And the two
Go
remaining.
while they're out, and I sheathe my sword, and
The light goes out as Rockbreaker
shit.
leaps across the way.
He can see in the dark though.
He makes his dex check, no problem. Saving throw versus spell is an utter failure, and he slips and lands face first on Cookie's butt.
I will be doing the same thing, I guess, with my move action, and
Give me
actually no, I'm going to stay on the lip until next round because I need to figure out my light source. I'm going to pull my. With the lizardmen, I assume can see in the dark, so I will unsheath my sword as soon as I sheath it. So I've got light.
So you get like halfway sheathed, and like, wait, that's a problem. Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, give me
D10.
Initiative. Yes.
A 5.
All right, you guys go first.
So
Rockbreaker drags himself off the grease because he's right next to it. He just pulls himself to the edge, and hefts Cookie over his body, and tries to walk back through the grease.
Right. So I assist. I set the sword on the ground on the lip, as a good couple feet away from the grease, so that there's some flickering light at least, and I help with Cookie's body.
As you let go of the blade, the fire goes out.
Okay. The dwarf can see. I sort of fumble around in the dark enough to grab Cookie's body and hoist her onto the ledge.
You hear him slip and a splash.
Do I get a grip of Cookie while he's before?
Yeah, there's mumbling and there's some like gurgling, and all of a sudden you're reaching out and you feel some part of Cookie like
and it's all
brush
greasy.
against your hand.
I try and hoist Cookie up onto the ledge.
You drag her up onto the ledge, and
let's see what the lizard men are doing. So if I can at the end of the round
give me
get
a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom.
Wisdom check.
There's no wisdom saving throws.
Give me a wisdom check.
My wisdom is probably higher than I'm playing it. Wisdom is 11. 30.
Okay. Just as you're... Yeah, you drag her on. No, everything's fine. You drag her up onto the area, and you heft the dwarf up too pretty quickly.
Gtech. I send him back for Gtech the next round.
He grumbled. I mean, he's got a move. He can move like 90 yards in a round. Mm-hmm. So as he starts to come up, you're like, no, Gtech, and he goes back, and you hear him slipping and sliding, like metal scraping on stone.
I am going to I'm going to kick the sword a little bit away so that I don't touch it with myself or the now greased up Cookie.
There we go.
And drag Cookie's body somewhere, and I'm very cautious about picking the sword back up again.
Okay.
I'll probably spend. So have I rolled initiative? I rolled oh no, I need to roll initiative again, don't I? I don't know what the lizard men are doing.
You can't see the lizard men, so we're gonna step out of initiative because you can't tell.
Yeah, let's see how long those guys are all asleep for. Duration 5 rounds per level, so it's double, so 10 rounds. So we got 10 minutes. So I'll spend a round trying to get.
Yeah, 10 minutes. Yeah. Cool.
I'm actually going to go ahead and try and sheathe the sword while it's without touching it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Without touching the hilt. So I'll take my sheath, I'll untie my hilt and work it around the edge of the blade and use my foot instead of my hand to touch the blade and hope that it doesn't activate.
Right. Yeah. You managed to kick the sword into the sheath.
And then hopefully, in the meantime, Rockbreaker is not getting eaten by lizard men, and he's dragging Gtech's body from over there back.
Yeah. You wait with bated breath.
Passes.
You wait with bated breath for a little while, and eventually you hear some sloshing and some splashing, and you feel Gtech being pushed up against you, and you drag him on, and then Rockbreaker pulls himself out and goes, "Come on, kid, we gotta get out of here.
Get the bodies moving. I
can only drag one. You drag the other. And where's the light?"
It'll set fire to everything if I pull it out. I drag one body.
Don't do that.
I back up the bodies about 10 feet, and then I return. Do I have any grease on myself? I didn't actually step in the zone, but I was handling people that were.
You've handled greasy people, so your hands have some grease on them.
Do I think I could set fire to the... Well...
Set fire to the rain?
I'm going to take a round to pull out my flint and steel and, use a fire that I'm more comfortable with. I'm a proficient fire builder. So I keep the sword sheathed, and I start a small spark on a piece of fabric and toss it into the greased area. with the bodies 10 feet away. Does that make sense? So if yeah,
You get a spark on a piece of fabric.
yes. So I used my flint and steel to start a small spark instead of well. Oh no. I'm yeah. I'm taking a round to try and get my hands dry of grease
Okay,
and
you
start
pull
just a
out
small
a thing and like wipe your hands free of grease as much as possible
and start a small fire
with the flint and steel.
with the flint and steel. Yeah, I don't have.
They don't have any tinder.
I have like a flint and I bought whatever the kit was in the PHB. It's just called flint and steel. I mean, it cost me like 5 silver or something like that. So I assume it's a small tinder box.
All right, yeah. So I guess you have a little bit of tinder that you pull out and you strike up a little fire, and it provides you enough light to see.
Light us.
You know, three.
I guess
2
I'll
feet
light
around.
that greasy rag that I just used to clean my hands and toss
It
that.
goes up pretty quickly, and you toss it into the water. The water has like a wave of fire that races across the top for a moment, and
Burns out pretty
illuminates
quick.
the entire room, but it doesn't stay very long.
Yeah,
the
and that
section
may
of
actually alert the
grease-
lizard men.
The
Which-
section of grease on the actual dry section burns pretty readily and pretty heftily, and the lizard man there is on fire because he's close enough to the grease to take damage.
Yeah.
Give me
I'm
the
gonna
grease damage, 2d6.
7 points of damage.
Okay, he
Um,
wakes
before
up
I-
just to scream and die.
All right. I have one last vial of lamp oil. Fuck it. I think that's enough of a secure escape. So I'm gonna, in the somewhat darkness, illuminated only by the flickering light of my grease fire, I will start dragging one of the bodies away as Rockbreaker is hopefully already ahead of me dragging Gtech's body. So I guess I'm dragging Cookie. I've only got strength 9, so I pretty much have to just drag her by her hands or her feet or whatever is easiest,
Okay.
and move as quickly as I can. At least she's all greased up, right? She should
She's
slide
all
mighty nice.
greased up, yeah. So yeah,
And we
you
flee.
manage to drag all of them out, and Cookie
Back
eventually
to my
comes to.
lantern light. Did we make it to my lantern in the mud back at the eggs?
Yes. Yes, you make it back
That
to
was
the
the
eggs.
luckiest Nahal's Reckless Dwemer.
I think that's probably the only result that would have worked in this situation. Like, you could have fireballed and killed everything, but this actually allowed you to rescue both people.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was awesome.
1 in 100 chance, man. I guess 2 in 100?
2 in 100.
Yeah.
There's probably a few other results that would have got the sleep spell off, but not
Not like
sleep.
that. Yeah. Cookie eventually comes to. It looks like she had just taken temporary damage. And goes, oh, Gtech, his leg! What happened to his leg? And he seems to be
I'm guessing
not
we left
quite
the
conscious.
swords
but-
behind. I mean, not my magic sword, but
No, but Gtech's sword and Daigon's short sword.
All right. Okay, so yeah. So I guess Cookie eventually comes to while we're still trudging through the sewers.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like dragging her through the mud, and she wakes up.
Yeah.
I help her to her feet.
Yeah.
And Gtech is still out, isn't he?
Gtech is out.
So hopefully we see.
Yeah.
We get back to my
Well-
lantern.
Yeah, we're kind of out of time here, so
Yeah, absolutely. So
you guys can actually make it all the way back out of the sewer without any troubles.
all right. And we head back, stinky and bloody, into the Goofy Dog,
Dragging Gtech's body behind you.
We
Um,
lost both of Daigon's swords, but hey, I didn't borrow them.
well, there was one of Daigon's swords. The other was
Okay,
Gtech's.
and then Gtech's.
Yeah.
I have my sword resheathed and back to being inconspicuous. Let's hope that these guys don't. Oh, who am I kidding? They're going to spill the beans.
Yeah, they're gonna spill the beans. It is worth noting, because this is out of game after everything is all said and done. It is worth noting that those earrings were very valuable. They were like each 120 gold or so.
I had no idea,
No.
and they were contraband, so I wanted them
Yeah.
gone. At least now I have Rockbreaker's name.
And you have him as your man for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is a hireling that will stick with you for. I think they normally
Said a
charge
month.
like
Yeah.
couple months. Couple months.
Yeah. So probably as
Okay.
long as I'll want him around
And,
until I can conjure a golem to replace him.
and that concludes today's episode of Dicing with Death, or Dicing with Daigon, as it may be.
Maybe not. That was a fun one. Thanks for
Good.
watching, all. Thanks for DMing, Neil.
Oh, thank you for.
You're
Oh,
DMing like this is another like 16-hour workday for you, isn't it?
yes. Well, I got this, and then I got roleplay, and then there's stuff going on
Aren't
tonight.
you
But
doing? Aren't you?
yeah, we're just busy tonight in general, and I'm packing, and I'm breaking windows, and whew. So that's it for Dicing with Death today, everyone. Ryan has some really important shout outs he wants to give.
I got nothing. I don't know when we'll do our next dicing with death. Probably in about a week. I'll be traveling back home, or yeah, back unhome
Back on home.
after New Year's.
Yeah.
But we'll figure it out. Keep your eyes on the Twitters. I believe there's Solemn in like an hour.
Solomon in an hour. God, I was hoping to have like 2 hours before Solomon, but Solomon an hour.
Sorry, we had too much fun.
It's just too much fun, and we started late because I ran over with the weekly reroll pretty significantly. So it's my fault.
All right.
Okay, that's it.
We'll deal with the XP another time.
Yeah, we'll deal with experience. Just remind me of what happened, and we will
Yeah.
see you guys for roleplay Solomon in an hour. Bye bye, everybody. Take care. There's no other side to see you on. Bye bye.